The tree we have here is American beech, Fagus grandifolia. Grandifolia meaning large-leaved. It's in the Fagaceae family, which is the beech family, which is the same family that our oaks or quercus are found in. The fruit type is a nut, and this tree is important for wildlife. The wildlife species can use the nuts, the nut fruit, which look a little different. I'll show you some in just a minute, but they're eaten by wood ducks and other animals. The fruits are poisonous to people. This is also, in the past, has been an important lumber species for things like flooring. Also, the wood is quite hard, so it's used for things like bowls and other things that you would carve. To identify this tree, I'm looking at this beautiful smooth gray bark, very pale gray bark. And as this is a very large tree that's here on campus, and looking up into the canopy and the foliage, you can see it's got dark green bark, and you can see the branches that are attached all the way up the trunk. If I'm looking at the leaves, you can say I would describe them as elliptical, right? Widest towards the middle and tapered from one side down to the other. It's got a little acuminate or drip tip here on the front, and the margin's pretty interesting. You might think of it as slightly serrate or maybe undulate or wavy. If you feel the underside of the leaf, it's very, very soft and smooth, and you can see the pinnate venation. A really important identifying character for this tree are the buds, and so I want to show you those to you right now. So the buds are long and pointed. Some people describe them as cigar-shaped buds. You can see there one right above my thumb. So they're long and pointed, and they get even longer and pointier through the winter time, so that's a really good character for winter tree identification. And they are imbricate buds, so that they have scales on them. And let me show you one more. Right, so there's another one of those buds with the imbricate scales. The fruits are really cool. They're these little beech nuts. You can see here, and they've split open. There's little three-sided seeds that are inside. And they're contained in these kind of rough husks that you can find underneath mature trees. So beech is susceptible to something called beech bark disease. This is actually a big problem in New England, although it's been found in western North Carolina as well. That is really taking a toll on beech populations in the Northeast. I attended a research meeting of the Maine Cooperative Forestry Unit where beech has gotten to this point where it gets the disease and dies, but the root system resprouts. And so it's taken on this sort of shrubby kind of look to it that ends up taking over huge swaths of forest land. So beech is not a popular species for timber in the Northeast. What else about this species? So it's really easy to identify with this really smooth, thin gray bark. You'll often see this is a tree where people carve their initials into it because the bark is soft and very thin. So don't do that, but know that that could be an identifying character. And if you are into children's literature, you might know that this is the tree that Piglet lived in. He lived in a grand house in the middle of the 100-acre wood, and it was a grand beech tree. So that is Fagus grandifolia, or American beech.